Welcome back to some more terrible arguments for why God exists.
He helps us learn more about him. There's so much stuff you can do with God, so much more freedom than you do without him.
Oh yeah? Name one thing. One real useful skill that you have when you believe in God but you don't have otherwise. What possible answer can you give to that? I can pray to God and he talks back. That's the only one, right? And that's just the stuff you can do. What is this about the freedom? You have so much more freedom with God. Well, again, freedom to do what? What were you restricted from doing? And then you converted to Christianity, which you probably never did. You were probably raised in it. I mean, I can only hope, because otherwise how the hell do you explain that whole front half of this thing? But benefit of the doubt, you convert to Christianity and suddenly the restrictions are lifted and these things you were prohibited from doing, you can suddenly do. What are they? There's nothing, right? The answer is nothing.
Now we also may question, why does God allow suffering and pain?
Oh, wow, I didn't think we had the time for this. I thought the feels thing was the last of it.
Like, a loving God won't let this happen. He wouldn't do this to me. The devil exists as well, the opposing side. He is the one that causes death. He's the one that causes suffering in your family, friends, whichever problem that is not good, it's straight from him.
Oh, I see. So God is powerless against Satan. Is that what you mean to imply? Because that's what you just implied. You seem to think God doesn't want there to be pain and suffering, and he would not allow it, but Satan's gone rogue, and he's just uncontrollable. There's nothing God can do about it. Man, he sure wishes he could. Okay, so how weak is God? I mean, I would have thought he could just crush Satan like a bug. It's almost as if within your belief system, whether you realize it or not, the only real answer is he doesn't want to. It's all part of the plan. Wow, standing back and allowing Satan to inflict all that pain and suffering just for the sake of some arbitrary plan that you could accomplish with no effort whatsoever. Very loving. You don't spend a great deal of time thinking about your beliefs, do you? There's still time, man.
He is the reason of why people don't believe in God today.
God is? Oh, right, you're talking about Satan. But then again, functionally speaking, what's the difference? Satan's really just God's tool. For the plan.
Because obviously he does not want you to follow God. He wants you to feel comfortable and safe in this world to where you're not going to want to leave. Makes you feel like you have it all, like this is everything you need.
Okay, well how is it relevant what Satan wants? If God doesn't want what Satan wants, then he'll just put a stop to it. Instantly. With a word, or not even that. The dude's all powerful. This is not a challenge, this is not a problem. And of course that's forgetting the fact that God knew he was going to create Satan, and then he did it, and he knew everything that was going to happen as a result, and he still made that choice. Dude's 100% on board. I don't know what point you think you're making.
He gets in your mind in many ways to not follow God. You may feel free without God, like you can do more in this world. Without God telling you don't do this, don't do that.
What? Just to be clear, that stuff you said at the start about atheists don't believe in God because they haven't seen the proof, and if they see it, then they'll believe in him. You do believe that, right? Or are you of the opinion that atheists just don't believe in God because Satan has a grip on their heart, makes them feel like they can be more free if they don't have to follow all those pesky laws, God laws, and that's why they don't believe? I hope not. I liked it much better when you characterized us correctly. Maybe you're just talking about lapsed Christians who do believe in God but don't follow the rules. Is that possible? I have to say, if you believed in God and you honestly believed the guy was all-powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing, and had an infinite torture pit lined up for you if you didn't follow the rules, you would have to be the world's biggest idiot not to follow the rules. I mean, it's not like the rules are go around killing people or something. The rules are pretty simple. It's like, believe in Jesus. Depending on the kind of Christian, maybe like, don't be gay, don't get an abortion. You know, if you believed in this kind of wrathful God and those were the only 3 rules, I think you'd be pretty dumb not to at least try. You'd be like, well, I really want to have sex with that guy, but well, it's just one lifetime, infinite consequences. Okay, I'll just stay home instead. Because what's the alternative? Oh, I feel so free, I'm gonna go break all the rules, but also I still believe in God, and I still believe in hell, and I still believe in infinite punishment. But I can break the rules and then instantly get caught and then punished. How free!
Until you realize that you've been locked up your entire life, only to realize that you've been locked in your own mind.
So you're not locked in your own mind. Interesting. Where else can you go? Mindlessly.
God wants nothing but the best for you.
Then what's with the whole Satan thing? You tried to answer the problem of evil, but you came back to probably the worst response anyone ever has to it, and probably the most common one as well. No, that's not God, that's Satan. Which is one of 2 versions, the other one being, no, that's not God, that's humans. Either way, it doesn't solve the problem at all. Anyway, it's just kind of interesting that after that total failure to answer the question in any way that makes sense, you say God only wants what's best for you. Then why is it that every time Christians open their mouth about him, it sounds like the exact opposite?
To see you love him and so you can spread that love to other people around the world.
Oh, so God doesn't want what's best for me. He wants to see me love him and to spread the love for him around the world. Exactly. Reminds me of that wretched guy who just said God's entire point to creating the universe was just for a full-on ego trip.
Because since you found freedom, you want other people to find that exact same freedom.
What freedom? You've said there's things you can do when you believe in God that you can't do when you don't. You said there's certain freedoms that you have when you believe in God that you don't have when you don't. And you said that if you don't believe in God, you're locked in your own mind, but if you believe in God, you're not. And you can apparently leave your mind. But you didn't elaborate on any of this. I don't even know what you mean by any of it. In fact, it sounds like you're just repeating catchphrases, which couldn't possibly be true.
Because he wants you to go to heaven and be with him forever.
Okay, well, if he wants that, then it's going to happen, because he's all-powerful. So I guess that's settled. Don't gotta worry about that anymore. God, what a mindless religion. Maybe it really does give you the ability to leave your mind.
And you may have met people that turned away from God because they met Christians that just kept putting them down and telling them they're going to hell.
I think that would be a bad reason to stop believing something that you thought you had good reasons to believe. But I think it's a very good reason to start thinking about whether you actually do have good reasons to believe, because this whole loving God that sends people to hell thing, not the most coherent thing.
You keep doing this and this and this wrong. And to say that I'm sorry, no Christian should ever put you down, that is not what we're supposed to do at all. All we're supposed to do is spread love to you, and it's up to you to grow it.
So, am I going to hell or not? Do you believe I'm not going to hell, or do you believe I'm going to hell, but you're just going to keep quiet about it because you don't think it's as effective at converting people?
All we do is love you, tell you about God, spread the love. That's it. It's all up to you.
Okay, but am I going to hell, though? Let's talk about hell. Come on. I got a boner for talking about hell.
We pray for you to have freedom, and we want you to find your true self.
Freedom from what? You keep saying these vague things that don't actually mean anything. In what way do I not have freedom? What do I not have the freedom to do? Escape the prison of my mind? I like it in my mind. If I wasn't in my mind, I don't think I'd be myself at all. I'd just be like a rock, you know? You know what a rock does. It doesn't have a mind. It's just a rock. Oh, how I envy such freedom. That's why I hate those bastards. I'm so jealous.
I'll pray for you after this video that it really helped you out and it's going to enter your life forever.
If you want the honest truth, I'm going to forget about this video before I publish it. Probably by the time I actually get around to putting a title and thumbnail on it, like a week after I put it on Patreon or something, I'll have to scan through it to see what it was about. When I do publish it, I'm probably going to go, number 8 out of 10 in the rankings. That sucks. I sure wish I remembered what I said in that one. Try not to do that again, but I'm not going to watch it again.
And you realize that there's something out there looking down at you, being jealous for you and loving you right now.
Do you have any idea how creepy that sounds?
The video that's about to pop up is going to explain to you that proof of God and faith in God is actually not that different. I recommend you watch that video because it's going to connect with this video.
Alright, well, we have a bit of extra time here. I think we can manage that. And I think that's about all there is in this one anyway, so let's jump over there right now.
If I shoot this rubber band and I hit that water bottle, you have to subscribe and like this video. You have to subscribe and like this video.
Really strange, contrived thing there, but I subscribed with my special account. You should see the kind of company you're with in the subscriptions. It's not great.
Welcome back everybody to another video. It has been a while since I've sat here and made a video. But what I want to talk about today is faith and proof in one video and how they're similar.
Nope.
Let's talk about it.
Yep.
But like I said, like this video and subscribe so you never miss another life-changing video just like this one.
Ah, such a humble young man. Seriously, how many subscribers would I lose if I started describing my videos as life-changing, unironically?
Go ahead. I don't know what you're waiting on.
A good argument.
So proof. The big question to unbelievers, right? Once I see proof, then I'll believe in your God. Which isn't true, and let me tell you why.
Oh, so you don't believe that. And there I was giving you credit at the start of my last video, totally undeserved, because you said something that you didn't believe. Okay, credit revoked. You didn't even say one thing that was right in that video. If you had, that would have put you at least in the top 10 of people I've responded to. Most of them can't even get that far.
There is proof of God literally everywhere.
Oh, come on. Look, if you say, look at the clouds, look at the trees, they're proof of God, the burden is still on you to make a compelling argument to people who don't see those as being evidence of God as to why they actually are. As much as you believe that what you're saying makes sense, because probably you were brought up Christian, things in the world, whether they're evidence of God or not, are not just going to cause everybody in the world to just suddenly, out of the blue, see them as evidence of God with no arguments and, nobody persuading them to interpret it that way. If you want people to believe that the trees in the clouds are evidence of God, convince them. That's what you're expected to do for anything else you want people to believe. Why should this be any different?
The thing is you're not wanting to see that proof. You're not putting in the drive to see the proof.
It's not my responsibility to put in the drive to look for evidence to support your claim. If I hold a belief and I think there's good evidence to support it, I'm going to tell you what that evidence is and how it supports my claim. And then it's up to you to evaluate the quality of that evidence and decide if it actually does. And likewise, if you want to convince me of something, you're the one that has to put in the drive. Get to work, lazy bones. Get your lab coat on. Buy a potted plant.
What you're wanting is like an overstate of proof.
I didn't catch that. Can you say it again?
It's like an overstate of proof.
An overstate? Are you saying overstate?
What you're wanting is like an overstate of proof.
Overstate. Oh, yeah, overstate, right? Do you mean an overview? Or, you know what, forget it.
But believe me, when you walk somewhere or go to a store, there is proof anywhere and everywhere.
Okay, I understand that that's your claim. Now, convince me.
It's just about opening your heart to see that. Like saying, hey, that was God right there.
Oh, okay. So it's not about whether it's actually good evidence for God, whether it actually supports God, whether there's any good argument to establish that that's actually what it is. It's just about opening my heart. So when I'm walking down the street on my way to the store and I see a payphone and I go, whoa, that's fucking weird. Why's that there? Instead of thinking, the phone company must not have removed it yet. Instead, I think, that must be God right there. Gotcha. I just have to be desperate to believe what you believe and make up something, anything, to make myself feel like I'm not believing it for no reason.
Like I was saying, faith is like proof.
If you seriously think that what qualifies as good evidence for a claim is you just walk around and when stuff happens, you just say God done it, you have seriously not understood the concept.
I will prove to you God exists with faith.
Seriously, no.
A Christian will say that's God with faith, while somebody else was saying that's just luck.
Right, so faith is just another word for bullshit. Some random thing happens. You say, that was God, therefore God, which is a circular argument, of course. And someone else says, no, that was just a random thing that happened. What are you talking about? And you're like, no, seriously, it was God because I said so. That's my evidence for God, is I said it was God. So, yeah, and now you kind of have to believe me, or you're not being rational. Take that, atheist. If your goal here really is to demonstrate that faith is like proof, you're failing miserably because you're kind of showing the opposite.
An example is if I were to pray for somebody and they had cancer or something, or if I'm praying for you, right? And they get healed right then and there, right now.
Yeah, good luck. If you can do that in front of me, then we can talk. How about that? Faith will not be involved. At the very least, I will say, holy shit, that's seriously compelling. I mean, you prayed and that guy's giant facial tumor just shrunk down into nothing and disappeared. I can't explain that. Except that has never happened in the history of the world, which is why you have to resort to nonsense, like going through your day saying, that thing's God, and that thing's God, and hey, that was God right there, about just random crap, the clouds and the trees. Or like, I don't know, some cyclist almost got run over by a car, but didn't, though. I heard one story back like 10 years ago. I think it was from a caller on the Atheist Experience or something when I watched that. And she said that she had proof of angels. And so she told a story about how her car suddenly started to have a flat tire. And there was a man there who helped her. And before she pulled into the gas station, she didn't notice he was there. That's faith. This is not proof. But hey, if you think you can just instantly cure someone's cancer by praying in front of them, let's do the notebook test. Let's see if I get the jitters and we both write down the same time. That should be easier than the cancer thing.
And I'm going to believe that when I prayed that he did this. I believe God did that.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't even blame you at that point. But that's never happened. But please, prove me wrong. Tell you what, how about this? I'm kind of getting the spare tire. You know, I don't have the best eating habits. It's not terrible, but I do get chubby. Little bit of a beer belly. Pray for me and cure my beer belly. Instantly, in one evening. And if that happens, I guarantee I will come to you and say, bro, I was wrong. You were sure right about this prayer thing. Okay, how about that?
while somebody else or you might just say that's just luck. It was luck.
There is no way in hell that if you had a cancer patient standing right in front of you and you prayed and they were instantly cured, verifiably, obviously, not just from them going, oh, I'm cured, I feel so much better, praise Jesus, but like actual verification of this, there isn't a chance in hell that anyone would say that's just luck. Now, of course, if you prayed and then months later they went into remission, which is a thing that does happen naturally, then people would say that's just luck. In fact, not even luck, to be honest with you. You did a thing and then another thing happened months later with no apparent link whatsoever. That's not luck, that's just two things that happened. There's no coincidence there.
And that's the difference between you and me.
No, it isn't, and you fucking know it isn't. Prayer-driven insta-cure, that was just luck. You're so full of shit, dude.
It's the same situation being solved, but two different people with different outcomes of how it happened.
The gas station where there was a guy that could help her change her tire was a much better example. Oh good, there was a guy at the gas station. Angels exist. God sent me an angel, is one person's interpretation, and the other person's interpretation is there was a guy at the gas station. That is the difference between you and me. You make shit up to explain normal things for no reason other than you want it to be true. That's faith. And I try not to do that because it's stupid.
Faith is confidence in what you believe.
No, faith is believing things for no good reason.
And I believe he can do miracles. I believe he can do this.
Right. For no good reason. Because you made up a story about instantly curing a cancer patient with prayer that never happened. When you get started talking about actual evidence, you have things like, animals never starve, therefore God. That's faith. Garbage reasoning.
Because that's faith. If you're like 99.9% sure of faith, it's not going to work.
Faith does not mean absolute certainty. It means baseless beliefs. Which is about the last thing you should have absolute certainty about, by the way. Not that you should have it about really anything, but that's not the point.
That's not good enough. You got to have 100% faith in what you're believing in. You can't have any percentage of doubt, because that doubt is negative, and you can't have any negative in faith.
Wow, big dunk on the people who struggle to believe your bullshit. Pastor, I'm having doubts. I'm having some struggles with my faith. Can you help me? What faith? You have no faith. If you don't have absolute certainty and no doubt whatsoever, you have no faith. Get out of my church.
And proof is like a physical way of seeing it with your eyes.
No, as a matter of fact, proof is a thing that only really exists when you're talking about idealized worlds that you can't see with your eyes because they don't exist. But even speaking colloquially, just talking about solid evidence, that's still not true. Honestly, I made the offer before that you can DM me and talk about some stuff, and I'm going to extend that again because you have a lot of problems with your terminology here. You don't seem to really know what words mean in general. I think that I can help you just get a basic grasp on what you're talking about. So go to Discord, DMs are open. Probably won't happen.
And if that's what you want, then ask and you shall receive, and he will give it to you because he wants you. So if you're sketchy, then ask him.
Okay, God, what's up, my man? I'm looking for proof. Whatever this guy means by proof, I want that. Please. Thank you. Oh, I'm supposed to get it from shitty YouTube videos? From people who couldn't talk a fat guy into bacon? Okay, well that's not what I was hoping for, but okay. Love you too, bye.
He ain't gonna hide himself from you.
Yeah, sure.
He's like, bro, like he's up close to you, and he's like right there, literally 24/7.
Again, do you realize how creepy that sounds?
Take that blindfold off and look him in the eye and say, hey.
Okay, I'll try it again. Okay, let's pray. Hey.
Bro, I love you.
Bro, I love you.
I know the video is extremely short, but the message is going to live on forever.
I know the video is extremely short, but the message is going to live on forever. Amen. Yeah, it didn't work.
And I'll see you guys in the next video. Messenger out.
Well, I'm subscribed, but I probably won't see it. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please give the video a like and click subscribe if you haven't. Big thanks to all of my supporters. Early access, email list, list.logicked.com. Odyssey channel, invite link, description. See you next time.